What up, YouTube? Just wanted to share a really quick video. I know I haven't done any weekly videos. Hopefully this weekend I should have one out. Kind of a weekly update, kind of showcase some of the stuff that you guys have been producing, the last couple days. I went to the Emerald City Comic-Con the other day, and it was definitely an eye-opener. I got to see some really cool people, a lot of cool celebrities. I went to the board gaming section, and it really inspired me to kind of really work on Dungeon Arena a little bit more. So I've playtested Dungeon Arena. There's definitely some changes that I need to make with balancing and things like that, and I've done a lot of that with GameCrafter. I've also thought, I think I'm missing a couple other things that need to be in this game. So what I want to share with you guys here is a few cards. I'm literally taking this by random. So what I have here is I have 3 of every card. Let me back this up. I have 3 of every card, and this is about half of that. So these are all the cards to Dungeon Arena, and then you've got some of this, and then this, and then a box here. So all Dungeon Arena cards right here. So I just wanted to share with you guys a couple cards from the set, and I'll kind of just mix in. Tell me what you think. I'm still trying to build a deck. Now I've already obviously the boosters, and that rare card would be that epic creature, because those are the ones that are like the big baddies. Those are the ones that when they come around, you know it's going down. So without further ado, let's kind of get into this. So really quick, we have spell cards. Spell cards are really great. This one right here allows you to draw 3 cards. Place 1 into your hand and then discard the other 2 cards. This is a great card when you're kind of shuffling through and trying to find some cards. One thing to keep in mind, when playtesting, some of the rules kind of changed. Now, still in the beginning of the game, what you're going to be getting are these gold cards, and the gold cards are a constant like mana resource, or just a resource in general. And these 3 gold cards here, I'll show you. These will always remain in play, and when you play cards that have a cost to them, say this 100-eye beast, as you can see here in the center, there's a cost of 2. And when you have a cost of 2, what you would do is what I call in the game spend them. So you just tap them essentially, and then at the beginning of your turn you untap any spent gold. So it's very important to have these, and I wanted to be putting these inside of the deck boxes, if that makes any sense, or the starter decks rather. That way you always have some, and there'd be at least 6 of these, so you can play with a friend, or maybe 3. And that's one of the things I'm trying to question. But let's kind of get into this. So what will happen is your life points, instead of having them represented by hearts, which I thought was a really cool idea, but we're realizing that it's kind of really weirdly unbalanced. So playtesting it this way, your deck is actually represented by your life. So when you take hit points directed to you, you have to discard stuff off the top of your deck, which can be very detrimental, because the more cards you play, you're essentially killing yourself. So you're trying to find that happy medium between, should I play this, or should I hold on to it, or, things like that. So right here we have focus. So that can do some, it's got it costs a 0, but it's definitely at a disadvantage. But if you can draw 3 really awesome cards, that's really cool. Oh, and then one last thing I want to want to say is, when you draw at the beginning of your turn, you draw back up to 5 cards in your hand. If you've already got 5 or more cards in your hand, you don't have to draw, which is something to keep in mind. Next, we have another spell here. We have Fireball. This one, you destroy 1 rival basic creature. Again, it's a cost of 0, and the basic creatures are, again, an example would be this 100-eye beast. So he would be one you want to kill, because he has 4 attack, which pretty big, and then 3 defense, so you'd want to kind of get rid of that one. So there's that. Then we also have trap cards. Again, this is all at random, so I don't know what I'm going to be pulling here, but this one's Ice Trap. So the way the traps work, not like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you're placing them down and kind of holding a bluff. What you're doing in here is you keep them in your hand, and when the trigger happens, like right here, it says when the rival plays a creature, that creature cannot attack until next turn. So the trigger is when the rival plays a creature. Then you can play this one. Again, this one's only a cost of 0. You can play this one, and what will end up happening is that creature cannot attack until next turn, which is really good if they play one of those epic creatures. Right here we have Rotting Corpse. Some of you guys saw this in my last video. One thing I do want to keep in mind, I can't remember who told me, maybe it was BK Beyond, but right here the gold cost is going to get changed from 1 to 2. We did notice that, keeping them in your hand and just keep replenishing the field every turn, these can definitely be a stinker, because what will happen is when this thing is killed, instead of going to the discard pile, it goes right back into your hand. So putting the gold cost to 2 I think would help that problem. Here we have Blizzard. Same thing as kind of like Ice Room. It's a cost of 1, but choose one rival creature in play. That creature cannot attack until next turn. So keeps them frozen, if you will. Here, oh man, let's get some other stuff. So we have Polarize, which is a great card. What this one will do is it'll switch, or we'll just say swap any one creature's attack value with their defense value. So this can be played, you know, on your creature to change their defense to their attack, or you know, vice versa, one of the rivals' creatures, which is great. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Let's see, what else do we have here? I'll just show you an example of an epic creature. So these epic creatures right here, pretty much what you want to do with these things is keep them in your hand and use them when you can, but again, it's at a cost. So right here at the bottom it says sacrifice 2. As you can see in the center, there is no gold cost, so these don't cost anything, but what you do have to do is you do have to pay 2 creatures. So kind of think of Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of like a tribute. You're sacrificing 2 creatures from the field to play one of these epic creatures. So it's good, and it's got, you know, it's got its cost, but they're typically pretty powerful. So that's one thing you want to kind of keep in mind. All right, next we have this Mystical Pixie. It's got a cost of 1, and it's a 1/2. While in play, rival elite creatures cannot attack. This puts a kibosh on pretty much all elite creatures on the rival side. This one, it might be weaker as far as attack and then also defense, but I mean, if he's just playing straight elite creatures, which, you know, as at the top this one does say elite creature, this is an amazing card to have. These goblins are pretty good. Cost is 0, 1/1. They're really quick to get out, so that's one of the benefits. And if you have the, I think the Goblin War Chief is what it's called, he buffs all goblins that you have in play. Now, one thing I want to point out is, obviously this is a basic creature. There are no subtypes, so it doesn't say that this specifically says it's a goblin. But I guess I'm using the common sense rule. If it looks like a goblin, which I'm not going that common sense, but this says it's a goblin. This says green skin goblin. So that means this would be a goblin. There's only one card in the game where it's just like, it's kind of like, all right, well, the Dragon Slayer. Well, it's a human dude who slays dragons. Obviously, you know, common sense rule, he's not a dragon, he slays dragons. So keep that in mind. Another goblin, so this one's the red skin. We have Tornado, which is pretty good. I apologize if you can hear my neighbors next door. They're going bananas. Place all your ally creatures from play back into your hand. The rival does the same. So that's a really good one too. The Hell Knight is awesome. Hell Knight cannot be destroyed by spell cards. So this is pretty powerful. Now it is a 2 cost, but because of just this effect, I mean, that's pretty good, because if you think your rival's gonna be playing a lot of spells, this is a guy you want to play. Plus he's got a pretty good attack here. Who else? Here's this Goblin War Chief that I kind of want to show you guys. So he has a cost of 1. He is a 2/4. While in play, all ally goblin creatures gain +2 attack and +2 defense. Does not include this Goblin War Chief. So again, if you have multiple Goblin War Chiefs, this guy can get buffed up pretty high, especially if you have a lot of these goblin cards. Let's see, what else do we have here? I can show you another trap here. This one's called Dragon's Gold. Dragon's Gold is a pretty nifty spell, or trap rather. Cost of 0. And keep in mind, some of these traps aren't all cost of 0. So when you're playing a trap and it may have a cost, you may not want to spend all your gold. And that's one way you can kind of bluff your rival, because what'll happen is he may be kind of wary on playing certain cards because he can see that you haven't spent all your gold and maybe you're saving it for somebody. So that's one way of playing the game. On the rival's turn, choose one rival creature. That creature can no longer attack. It's pretty awesome. No longer attack. Can no longer attack. Put the kibosh on it. It's pretty amazing. Let's see. What else we got? Oblivion Orb. This one is major sweet. So this Oblivion Orb, it does cost 3, and it's a crazy spell, but you destroy all rival creatures in play, which is nuts, because this could do a lot of stuff, but you're not going to be playing really anything else besides this card. This is like your get out of jail free. If they're just like completely wailing on you, this is a good card. Or you can play this as a great like offensive, you know, maneuver, because what'll happen is like, all right, you got a bunch of creatures, they got a bunch of creatures, and you're just like, oh, goodbye, and then go straight to their heart points. Again, heart points are the deck. So pretty awesome. Another epic creature that you guys can obtain here is the epic creature Blasphemy. Sacrifice 2, Blasphemy is immune to all spell and trap cards. That is amazing. So you couldn't even use Oblivion Orb on Blasphemy. Let's see, a couple other epic creatures. We have the Chromatic Dragon. He's a pretty awesome looking dragon. He's got 5 heads, can't go wrong with that. He's got to sacrifice 3 while in play. If the rival plays a spell or trap card, your next spell or trap card you play is free. Which, if they play a spell card, you can play Oblivion Orb for free. How nuts is that? That would be nuts. Super nuts. Super nuts. That's what I like to say. Polymorph. Polymorph's a pretty cool creature. I kind of like him. He's pretty colorful. So he's a 4/4 with only a 1. And one thing, you know, well, no, that's fine. When played, you may discard this card to replace it with any one creature from your hand. You could pretty much play, I mean, he is a cost of 1, and even with just a cost of 1 with a 4/4 is pretty amazing, and it's almost like you don't even want to get rid of him. But if you had one like really awesome creature, maybe even an epic creature, you can trade this card out, discard him, and then you can throw down an epic creature for freezies, and that's a great card. Let's see, what else do I can show you some items if I can find. Here we go, Mirror Shield. Mirror Shield is another great card. Again, a cost of 1, equipped to an ally creature. While this item is in play, you are immune to any spell cards and creature attacks. Yeah, so I mean, pretty much what you can do is trap them. That's pretty much it. I mean, maybe some creatures can destroy creatures when they play just for their ability. But yeah, I mean, Mirror Shield is an amazing card to have. The Book of Spells. Book of Spells is a pretty interesting card as well. So what this one does is you equip it to an ally creature. While this item is in play, you may play at least 1 spell card from your discard pile each turn. Imagine that. You can play Oblivion Orb, and then if you had this card attached to somebody, you can pick it right back up and play Oblivion Orb on your next turn. It's pretty nuts. I like that. There's all sorts of cards though in this game, and that's one thing I want everybody to realize. I mean, aesthetically, this is probably my visually and aesthetically, this game definitely looks amazing. And I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but I love the color, even to the back of the cards. I think the back of the cards look amazing. I like the fact that it doesn't say the actual name. It's just like one of those like pub games you're just playing, and you're just like kind of like a Hearthstone, if you will. You just pick up a game and you just kind of play, and that's one thing I really like about this game is there's so many different variations to the game. The one thing I do want to say is, the packs of boosters. I don't want to be stingy like most other companies like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon. I'm probably going to put 18 cards in there. So 18 cards in just one pack. I mean, you've got almost a half a deck right there. And the only reason I can't give you a half a deck is because I'm trying to make it reasonably priced for everybody. So pretty much what you have is a half a deck or 18 cards, because that's as much as they can give me under a certain price. As soon as I go to 19, that'll double the price of a booster pack. So I don't want to do that for you guys. But there are tons of cards so far. I think just in this original stack here, there's like 130 cards-ish, somewhere around there. So I mean, that, plus I said I'm putting some more in. I want there to be a lot of variety for everybody, and I want to make sure that everybody has, there are different aspects in playing. You can go defensive, you can go offensive, you can go strictly spells, traps. I had a buddy who played a lot of traps on me the other day, where he was pretty much built a deck with some lower like just basic creatures pretty much, and then he built it with a lot of traps. And though I still won, it was very tough, just because he was every time I tried to play something, he was doing something to negate what I was doing or whatnot. And I think the only thing that would have helped him was maybe playing a few more elite creatures. I mean, epic creatures, like I said, those are where you're gonna have a lot of fun with, because you can just slide them in and they just destroy a whole bunch of stuff, and you just hope that you can find something in your hand or you have something in your deck that really kind of take that guy out. And that's one thing I wanted to change and throw some more creatures that kind of buff the rest of your team up, instead of just, you know, the Goblin War Chief just busting up those goblins. So there are a few other creatures that'll bust up everybody. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. I really like this game. It's been a lot of fun play testing it. Like I said, there's tons of cards. The booster pack should be available hopefully shortly. And then with the rules, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, what are the rules? The rules are very simple. There's 3 phases in the game. You draw back up to 5 cards. You play cards. Then you attack. Then it is your opponent's turn. The most you can have in play at once is only 5 creatures, and once your deck reaches 0, like, I mean, technically, if you draw back up to 5 and there's nothing left in your deck, you lose the game. So you need to make sure that you're watching your deck and not playing as many cards as you would like to play sometimes. And that's pretty much it. I mean, just keep in mind that you can only play 5 creatures. You spend your gold, and yeah, those 3 phases: draw, play, attack, your rival's turn. That's it. Do what the cards say, obviously. That's it. If you guys like what you see, please let me know down below. If you guys want to help me out, I know I want to talk to BK Beyond. He's got a very similar kind of game and insight that I really want to kind of pull some ideas out of. Let me know what you think down below, and maybe we can work on something, because, you know, this is a huge community, and I appreciate everything you guys do, and I hope that you do the same for myself, because I love making games. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of Dungeon Arena, or if you want to become part of the weekend updates, or I can't really even say the weekly updates, because sometimes they're not even weekly, just because I'm so busy. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have. So thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great rest of your week.